Hey guys, Brian here with Henry USA. Today we're going to take a look at the H027, better known as the Homesteader 9mm carbine.
From bedpost to fence post, what's yours remains yours. Introduced by Henry in 2023, the H027 Homesteader 9mm carbine is our first foray into the semi-automatic pistol caliber carbine market. Cloaked in our retro design language, the Homesteader offers unrivaled versatility and ease of use. The fast handling and quick pointing Homesteader features ambidextrous controls, hard-wearing metal finishes, genuine American walnut furniture, a factory threaded barrel, and compatibility with the most common 9mm magazines on the market. Choose from Glock, SIG, or Smith & Wesson magazine well adapters to keep your Homesteader's finely tuned blowback action fed, or use our included 5 and 10 round Henry magazines to keep the silhouette slick. For home defense, walking the fence line to protect your livestock, riding in the truck, hitting the range, or slung across your back on a deep woods excursion, the Homesteader is ready to deliver on all fronts.
In this series, we're going to discuss things like disassembly, reassembly, cleaning and lubrication, safe loading and unloading, sight adjustment, and more. But before we get started, we need to make sure we follow the 4 rules of firearm safety. Number 1, treat every gun as if it is loaded. Number 2, never point a gun at anything you are not willing to destroy. Number 3, keep your finger off the trigger until you are ready to fire. And number 4, be sure of your target and what is beyond it. Lastly, always remember to wear safety glasses when working on a firearm. Thanks for watching, guys, and we hope you enjoyed the series. Today we're going to take a look at swapping the mag wells on the Homesteader carbine. This is a very simple process, and it allows you to have more versatility and capability if you want something more than the factory 5 and 10 round magazines that come with the Homesteader carbine. There are 2 options available. This particular one is for a Glock magazine. There's also one for a Smith & Wesson M&P or a SIG P320. Like I said, this is a Glock mag well, but they install the exact same way. It's a very simple, quick, and easy process I'm going to take you through right now. Before we get started, we want to do 2 things. Put on some safety glasses and also check and make sure our firearm is clear. So I'm going to point it in a safe direction and pull it back. I can see there's nothing in the chamber. That's all there is to it. Now, all we have to do is drive out these 3 receiver pins. I'm going to use a rear bag to help me steady it, and we're going to drive these 3 pins out. Now that our receiver cross pins are removed, in order to separate the 2 parts, all we have to do is take your right hand, put it on the receiver and the forend, your left hand on the buttstock. We're going to push up with our right, pull down with our left. Give it a slight wiggle when you do that, and that will separate the 2 halves. Now it's as simple as tipping the old mag well out and removing it. Grab the new mag well, drop it into place, and then we're going to have to line up the grooves with the trigger group and the receiver. Once you do that, let it drop into place. When gravity takes hold, it will drop right in where it needs to be, and then we will install our cross pins. Take a non-marring hammer and drive them back into place. Guys, that's all there is to it. Now the mag well is swapped out, and we have the capability to run other manufacturers' magazines to give the firearm more versatility in the field or at the range, whatever your need may be. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Have a good one. Today we're going to be disassembling the Homesteader carbine, but before we get started, we want to make sure we put on some safety glasses because parts are under tension here, as well as we need to make sure the firearm is clear before we get started. Point the firearm in a safe direction. Pull the bolt back, there's nothing in the chamber, so we are good to go. I'm going to use a rear bag to help steady the gun for this because we have to drive these 3 pins out, and that will allow us to break the gun into its major components. Now I'll set these pins off to the side, and I don't need this bag anymore. Now that our receiver cross pins are removed, in order to separate the two parts, all we have to do is take your right hand, put it on the receiver and the forend, your left hand on the buttstock. We're gonna push up with our right, pull down with our left. Give it a slight wiggle when you do that, and that will separate the two halves. Now it's as simple as tipping the mag well out and removing it. That's as far as the trigger group gets disassembled, guys. At this point, the trigger group and the magazine well can be sprayed and brushed clean if you want, but that's all you're gonna do. The trigger's not adjustable. You don't want to disassemble this any further. Next up, we are going to remove the forend and get the bolt out of the way. This is a 1/8 inch Allen screw, a single screw in the end of the forend. Once that's loose, I'll remove the screw, slide the forend off, set it off to the side, and you can see now we have a weight and 2 action bars. So to remove that, I'm going to put one hand on the receiver. I'm going to balance one hand on the barrel so it doesn't flop all over on me. Now I'll take my thumb and index finger. I will rest them at the head of the weight. I will push rearward. In doing so, it allows me to release the action bars. And then I can slowly release that pressure forward with that weight. Now that the action bars are loose, I can give them a slight wiggle. They will work free from the bolt and remove them from the receiver. They are side specific, so pay attention to which one goes on which side. Once those are removed, we want to pull the charging handle out. Give it a snug wiggle and pull. It'll pull right out. As you can see, there are 2 holes in this charging handle. That is for left or right side placement using that detent. Now that the charging handle has been removed, all we have to do is tip the bolt out, set it aside, and the rifle is fully disassembled. And guys, this is as far as you want to disassemble this rifle on your own. Any further disassembly should be done by a qualified gunsmith or reach out to Henry Technical Support for further assistance. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching and have a good day. Today we're going to take a look at reassembling the Homesteader carbine. Before we get started, you want to make sure you put on some safety glasses because parts are under tension here and you don't want to risk damaging your eyes. First and foremost, we're going to reinstall the bolt into the receiver, but I want to show you something. On the bottom of the bolt, there are these cutouts, and that's where the teeth of the action bars engage to help drive everything back and forth. We're going to turn our rifle upside down. We're going to drop the bolt in at the front and make sure it's pushed all the way to the front. Next, we're going to take our action bars. Remember, these are side specific. And we're going to push it back in here and drop it down into those channels I just showed you. Once those are lined up, I will place my hand on the receiver, place my other hand on the barrel to help steady it. I'm going to take my index finger and thumb and I'm going to apply pressure rearward until those action bars can drop into place. Once they're in place, it's locked in, it is secure. Now we want to reinstall the forend, slide it on. Next, I'm going to take my screw and I'm going to start it by hand since it's long enough. That way I can make sure I get a good start and I don't cross thread it. Then I'm going to take my 1/8 inch Allen and continue tightening it down. Now we're finished reinstalling the forend. Next up, we're going to take the mag well. It has a tab on the front of it that will interface with a keyway in the front of the receiver. Stick it in first and drop it down at an angle. Now we need to reinstall the trigger group into the receiver, and all you have to do is line these bars up with the slots in the receiver. I like to do it inverted. That way, once it's lined up, gravity will take hold and it will just slide right into place. Now all we have left are the 3 receiver cross pins and the charging handle. I'm going to line up my 3 receiver pins, take a non-marring hammer, and drive them back into place. And the last thing we're going to do is reinstall this charging handle. That's all there is to it. That detent makes it quick and easy. And then we want to pull the charging handle back, pointing the firearm in a safe direction, make sure there's nothing in the chamber, release it, and then we want to fire the rifle and make sure that it is working properly. That's all there is to it, guys. The Homesteader reassembly is a very quick and easy process. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Have a good one. Today we're going to take a look at the H027-9, the Homesteader carbine. We're going to be at the range doing some shooting and show you the functions of the rifle. So first and foremost, let's make sure the rifle is clear. I'm going to pull the charging handle back. I'm going to push the latch in place so that it locks the bolt to the rear. I can see inside the chamber there's nothing in the rifle. So You have a few options when it comes to this. It comes with a factory 5-round and a factory 10-round magazine. You also have the ability to switch to an aftermarket magazine well, be it a Glock, Smith & Wesson, or a SIG 320. And that allows you to run aftermarket magazines, which is a really nice feature if you want a higher magazine capacity, such as this 15-rounder. We're gonna stick with the factory magazines today. Another nice feature of this rifle is it does have ambidextrous controls. So we have a charging handle and the bolt lock, and this mechanism here is on both sides of the rifle. Additionally, to release the bolt, we pull back and let go. So if I want to pull it back, I can lock it in place on the right side, or I can lock it in place on the left side if I'm a left-handed shooter. Another nice feature is the charging handle is ambidextrous. So it's just held in place with a detent. Give it a good wiggle and pull, and then we can flip the rifle over and reinsert it on the left side so I can do left side charging. It is a very nice feature, and a lot of people like to run the gun with a left side charging handle even though they're right-handed, because it allows you to stay on the gun and you can operate the charging handle from the left side and never have to remove your control hand. When it comes to the magazine, there's a couple of features I want to show you. This up top, these are called the feed lips. This is called the follower, and there's a spring under it that keeps spring tension on here to keep the bullets tight in the magazine as you load them. So we're going to take our first round. I'm going to insert the back of the bullet in front of those feed lips, push down, and then slide it in so that it's under the feed lips. That holds it in place. Now, as the bolt rides forward when this is in the rifle, that would strip this bullet off of the follower or the previous round under it and into the chamber. Now that we have a round in here, as we load more rounds in, there will be more and more pressure. So when I get my next round, what I'm going to do is take my thumb and push down on the back of the bullet, and that relieves some of the pressure and makes it easier for me to load consecutive rounds into the magazine. This is a 10-round magazine, so I will do that for all following rounds. Now, before we get started shooting, you want to make sure you've got your eyes and ears on. So put on your shooting glasses and your earplugs or earmuffs. Now, to load the rifle, I want to insert the magazine into the mag well and push up until you hear that click. Now that the magazine is inserted, to load the rifle, I will pull the charging handle back and let it fly. If I ride it forward, it won't be moving forward at full force. Therefore, it may cause a malfunction because it won't pull that bullet off of the magazine and put it into the chamber. So pull back, let go, it is chambered and ready to fire. Another nice feature of the universal controls is the tang safety. That allows you to operate the safety from the left or right side of the rifle. It's a very nice feature, makes it a lot safer for a left-handed shooter using this rifle. So now to take it off safe, we push forward, rifle's ready to fire. As you can see, the bolt locks to the rear when the magazine is empty, but we're going to double check just to make sure there wasn't a malfunction. When I look in there, I can see the magazine and the chamber are empty. To remove this magazine, I'm going to pull this tab on the front back. The magazine pops loose, grab it with my other fingers, and remove the magazine. And that's all there is to it, guys. The gun is a ton of fun to shoot. It's very easy to shoot, and it's very easy to adapt to new shooters. If you have somebody left or right-handed, it's easy to train them on. With it being 9mm, you've got a very light recoil, so it's not going to scare them as bad. Overall, it's a great gun and something you'll thoroughly enjoy at the range and with your family. Thanks for watching, and have a good one, guys.
So you've had your Homesteader out at the range, now it's time to clean it up. Cleaning your rifle is imperative after a range trip because it helps keep the rust away and keeps it running reliably. One of the easiest ways to do this is the Otis Ripcord Deluxe Kit. You don't get just the ripcord with this, you also get a variety of items that are going to help you in getting a good thorough cleaning. The kit comes with some CLP, a microfiber cloth, a brush for broad areas, a bore mop, a bore brush, and also a T-handle. The T-handle is a huge asset because it slips over the ripcord, slides over the brass end, and allows you to get a good solid pull to help pull it through the barrel. Let me show you how it works. One of the nice things about the Otis Ripcord is it does have a steel cable on the inside that helps keep it stiff so you can slide it down the barrel with ease. We're going to insert it into the chamber and slide it down the barrel until the brass end comes out the muzzle. Once the brass end comes out the muzzle, we're going to take our T-handle, slip it over the ripcord, slide it down over the brass end, and pull. That T-handle really makes it easy to slide this through the barrel. That's all there is to it, guys. It's an extremely easy way to keep your rifle clean after each range trip, so there's no reason not to do it. If you're going to be putting your rifle away for an extended period of time, or you just want to give it a good thorough cleaning, check out our Superior Cleaning Kit, also available at henrypride.com. It's got everything you need to give the rifle a deep clean. Thanks for watching, guys, and have a good one. Today we're going to look at the sighting system on the Homesteader Carbine. Your front sight is not adjustable, so all windage and elevation adjustments will be done at the rear sight. The stem of the aperture is threaded like a screw, so you can turn it in and out. And as you turn a half revolution, you're going to make approximately a 1-inch adjustment at 100 yards. So let's take a closer look. To make your elevation adjustment, all you have to do is insert a small screwdriver into one of the 2 windage screws, loosen it enough that you can turn the aperture stem by hand, and then you can turn it counterclockwise or clockwise. Turning it counterclockwise will raise your point of impact. Turning it clockwise will lower your point of impact. I'm going to put mine back where it was because it was zeroed. And then you need to retighten that screw to lock it in place. To make your windage adjustments, you're going to loosen both screws. And then you can simply move the aperture left or right accordingly. If you move it to the right, your point of impact will move to the right. If you move it to the left, your point of impact will move to the left. You want to retighten the screws once you're finished and lock it back into place. Well, that's all there is to it. Really, it's a very simple process, quick and easy. And just remember, if you can only adjust the rear sight, you want to move the sight in the direction you want the bullet impact to go. Plain and simple. Have a good one, guys. Thanks for watching. So you've bought your Homesteader Carbine, or you're looking to buy one, and you want to know what accessories are out there for it. Well, I'm going to take you through what we have on henrypride.com, and hopefully that answers your questions. First and foremost, you need a sling for your rifle. If you're going on a trek through the woods, this is a must. We got a wide variety available on henrypride.com, but I think this Simply Rugged sling is one of the best fits for it. It's slim, it's effective, and it gets the job done. What else do you need? Next up, if you want to mount some aftermarket optics on there, we've got a couple of options. First and foremost is going to be a standard Picatinny rail. Allows you to mount any Picatinny style optic to the firearm. Next up, we have a Leupold Delta Point Pro mount made by Skinner Sights for us. This is a great solid little mount and has a smaller footprint than the Picatinny mount if that's what you're looking for. Both of these do come with mounting hardware, so you're good to go right out of the box. Next in our lineup is a magwell adapter. This is for a Glock, but we'll also have them for a Smith & Wesson M&P and a SIG P320. This allows you to run aftermarket magazines for a pistol you may already have in the Homesteader Carbine, which makes it a great option to have one caliber and cover both your bases. Next in the lineup, we have a 9mm specific muzzle brake. This is designed for the Homesteader. Give your rifle a little flare and mitigate some of that recoil. Lastly, we've got our cleaning kits. And guys, these are imperative. You've got to keep your rifle clean to keep the rust away. So first up, we have something for right after your range session. This would be the Otis Ripcord Kit. It comes with the ripcord, a T-handle to pull it through the rifle, some CLP, a bore brush, a bore mop, a larger brush for your larger surface areas, as well as a microfiber cloth to wipe it down. Lastly, we have the Superior Cleaning Kit if you need a more thorough deep clean for long-term storage, or just want to give the rifle a really deep clean. This is perfect for that, has everything you need. So guys, those are the accessories we have available at henrypride.com. Thanks for watching and have a good one.